It's just parlay, and here we are with betting 101. So this series is for those of you who may see my little pick of the day videos down your timeline, and you're like, what is he talking about? I have no clue who the Atlanta Hawks are. I have no clue what an underdog is, odds. This is for you. About to take you to class, learn a thing or two if you might be interested in doing this. The first class I want to start off with, probably the most important class, right? Because when it comes to betting, you definitely need to know what this is, because this is how you determine how much money to put down or how much you'll potentially make, right? Simple concept, it's called odds. Pretty sure we all took 6th, 7th grade math. Well, most of us, because I ain't going to judge you off your circumstances. 6th, 7th grade math, where you learn what odds are, right? Odds are the likelihood of an event happening. So if I was to flip a coin right now, the likelihood of me getting heads or tails is 50-50, right? Pretty much the same thing when you're betting on sports. Whatever you use, you may use FanDuel. I know you use FanDuel and PointsBet. It's kind of the same process, but it's not as simple as flipping a coin, because I know it may be two teams playing against each other, but one team is better than the other team. So it's really not a 50-50 chance of that happening. So obviously odds makers, do their little magic. But we're not going to discuss how to make odds. We're going to discuss how to read odds. So when it comes to odds and you're betting on sports, there are two things you're always going to see. You're going to see a favorite and you're going to see an underdog. So the favorite is the event that's more likely to happen. The underdog is the event that's less likely to happen, right? So if I had the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, let's say the Celtics are the better team than the Heat. The Celtics, as the better team, would be the favorite. The Heat, as the worst team, would be the underdog. So now that we got favorites and underdogs out the way, I want to tell you how to read a favorite and an underdog. Anytime you see a negative number on a slip, you're going to see a negative number or a positive number, right? So let's say if it said negative 150. That means for every $150 you put down, you will earn $100 if this event happens. So let's say the Celtics and the Heat are playing, right? Celtics are the better team, the Heat are the worst team, right? So the Celtics are the favorite at negative 150. That means for every $150 you put down on the Celtics, you earn $100, right? So let's say if I put down $300 on the Celtics, I'm only going to get, well, not only, because it's still a good amount of money, I'm going to get $200 back. That's how favorites work. Now, when it comes to underdogs, it's kind of the opposite. So you're going to see a plus number. Let's say I see the Miami Heat, the worst team, for plus 150. Let's say I have the Miami Heat upsetting the Boston Celtics. I put $100 down on the Miami Heat. That means for every $100 you put down, you get an extra $150 on top of it if the Miami Heat wins, right? So let's say I put down $300 on the Miami Heat. That means I'm going to get $450 back if the Miami Heat wins. All right, so now that we got how to read what's a favorite and what's an underdog out the way, anytime you see one of my pick of the day videos, and I post them daily, and you see that plus whatever number sign up there, that means the team, if I bet $100 on that team, I would gain that amount of money in return if that team wins. But I just wanted to get odds out the way, because odds are pretty important when it comes to betting. That's how you make your money. That's how you know who's the favorite, who's the underdog, what event is more likely to happen, what event is less likely to happen. And odds are great at figuring out how much money you would obviously win on a game, or if a bet is worth it. Let's say if the odds are like negative 1,000 that a team is going to beat another team. At the end of the day, a whack team could be the good team, right? If I got a price at negative 1,000, is it worth me putting $1,000 to only win 100 back? And put that in perspective, that's like putting $100 down on something to only possibly gain $10 back. It may be worth it to you. You may be that confident in your particular bet. But for me, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably just going to leave it alone, because at the end of the day, BS happen. And my motto is always trust in the BS, because it will bless. It could hurt, but it will bless. So that is your betting 101.